Hi guys, we're going to start 8.6 notes, which is laws of sines and cosines. So let's look at the theorem laws of sines. What we need to pay attention to is this part. So sine of A over A is equal to sine of B over B, which is equal to sine of C over C. Okay? So we're going to use the laws of sines to find x in example 1. So we're going to use that the sine of A over A is equal to sine of C over C. So the sine of 97 over 16 is equal to the sine of 21 over x. We're going to cross multiply to find x. So we have x sine 97 is equal to 16 sine 21. And then if I divide by sine 97, I get x is equal to 16 sine 21 over sine 97. And if I plug that into the calculator, I get 5.8. So that is my answer. Okay, let's look at example 2. In example 2, we are going to find the missing angle by doing 180 equals 45 plus 73 plus angle K, since that's what we're trying to find. So if I subtract these from 180, I get K is equal to 62. So this is 62. So I'm going to do sine of H over H is equal to sine of K over K. Well, sine of 45 over X is equal to sine of 62 over 10. So if I cross multiply, I get 10 sine 45 equals X sine 62. And if I divide each side by sine 62, I get X is equal to 10 sine 45 over sine 62. And if I plug that into my calculator, I get 8. So x is equal to 8. Perfect. Now let's look at laws of cosines. So here we have a little bit more. So notice all these. This is helping us find each part. So we're going to use that in example 3. So we have that c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. That's the formula. So let's plug everything in. So we have x squared is equal to 9 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 9 times 11 times cosine of 28. Okay? So if I simplify that, I get x squared is equal to 202 minus 198 cosine of 28. Then if I take the square root, I get the square root of all that. And if I plug that into my calculator, I get approximately 5.2. Okay, let's look at example 4. I have m squared is equal to p squared plus q squared minus 2pq cosine of m. Let's plug everything in. So I have 8 squared equals 6 squared plus 3 squared minus 2 times 6 times 3 cosine of x. So now we're trying to find x. So then I have 64 is equal to 45 minus 36 cosine x. And then now I'm trying to get cosine x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 45 and then divide by negative 36. So I have cosine x is equal to 19 over negative 36. Then I take the arc cosine, so cosine arc of 19 over negative 36, and I get 122, which is my x value. Okay, let's look at example 5. Drew and Hunter are playing basketball. Drew passes the ball to Hunter when he is 26 feet from the goal and 24 feet from Hunter. How far is Hunter from the goal if the angle from the goal to Drew and then to Hunter is 34? So based off the diagram, we're going to do x squared equals 24 squared plus 26 squared minus 2 times 24 times 26 cosine 34. So if I simplify this, I get x is equal to the square root of 1252 minus 1248 cosine 34. And I plug that into my calculator, I get x is equal to 15. So that means Hunter is about 15 feet from the goal when he takes his shot. Let's look at example 6. Okay, and example 6 is going to be the last example in this section. So we have, since 13 squared plus 12 squared does not equal 15 squared, then this is not a right triangle. Since the measures of all three sides are given by SSS, we need to use the law of cosines to find the measure of A. So A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine A. Now let's plug everything in. 15 squared equals 12 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 12 times 13 cosine A. Okay, so then I have 225 is equal to 313 minus 312 cosine A. I need to get cosine A by itself, so I'm going to subtract 313 and divide by negative 312. So I have cosine A is equal to negative 88 over negative 312. So if I take the arc cosine, I have cosine arc of negative 88 over negative 312 is equal to A. And if I plug that into my calculator, I get 74. Now I have to use the law of sines. Okay? So I have sine, here we go. Sine A over A is equal to sine B over B. Sine 74 over 15 is equal to sine B over 12. I'm going to cross multiply, so I get 12 sine 74 is equal to 15 sine B. I'm going to divide by 15 to get sine B by myself. So I have sine B is equal to 12 sine 74 over 15. Then I'm going to do the arc sine. So sine arc of 12 sine 74 over 15. And when I type it into my calculator, I get 50. Okay. So by the triangle angle sum theorem, the measure of angle C, so then to find C, I just have to do 180 minus 74 minus 50. Oh no! Sorry guys, give me a minute. I went too far. We're here. Minus 50. So I get C is equal to 56. There we go. I found A, I found B, and I found C. Okay. And then again, that concludes 8.6.